Picks. A lot to get into today. We will touch on some stuff from the last few days. But first of all, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing quite well. Jealous of your Philadelphia Eagles
Good
just
night.
having everything fall into their lap for another draft night, working their magic. But doing well. Excited for the slate tonight. A lot of game sixes in all the leagues and more drafts. So fired up.
Yes, a lot to talk about. Obviously, big night for my Eagles last night. Was up late celebrating not one but two. There's Georgia Bulldogs. Kind of a new thing here for my Eagles, Jeff. A lot of Georgia love last night. We do have the second round of the NFL draft today. A couple of NBA playoff games tonight. Last night, obviously, pretty good game. Celtics and Hawks. Celtics ended up coming back. They got a cover for us. I don't know if you had any action on that game. Hawks covered that entire game, late backdoor from the Seas. On the ice last night, another big win for the Devils. They have stormed back in that series. Now it is 3-2 in favor of New Jersey. Kind of been a wild series there. Vegas was able to punch their ticket to the next round last night. So a lot going on, Jeff, right now. Every sport, this is a great time of the year. We have a lot to talk about throughout every single sport. We cannot beat that. But let's go to the NBA. We got the Warriors and Kings tonight matching up. The Kings coming into this game as a heavy dog here. Look, this looked like they were in a great spot. Up 2-0. We knew it was going to be tough at Golden State, but if they could steal one of those road games, and Jeff, they had the chance. Harrison Barnes missed a pretty good look at the end of game 4. If he makes that shot, completely different series. Warriors were able to survive that game. They go into Sacramento, get that all-important swing game. They got that win there in game 5. Big time game tonight, though. Do you have any thoughts on this one?
I do expect this to be the end of the series. And like you, I was kind of excited to see what Sacramento was going to do. And they were up 2-0 and no Draymond. I have a bet on this game. It's not on the side or the total. It is a prop. I'm going to take Fox over 26.5 points. Matt, he with the finger injury that we, caused a lot of question marks going into the last game. He had 24 points. He looked fine for the most part relative to a lot of expectations, but now it's an elimination game. This is going to be a 42-minute plus effort for him. I'm going to take the 26.5 over tonight. I saw enough health-wise for me to be totally confident in this play in an elimination game. Fox over 26.5 for the Kings.
Like that, he was ultra aggressive in that game, as you mentioned there. He didn't shoot the ball great in game 5, but in a win or go home, it's got to be the stars, right? I mean, this is the point of the series where Fox can't rely on other guys to step up, so I also do like that play. From a spread standpoint, Jeff, I think the Kings here are being a little undervalued. I do want to point out they're 4-1 this series against this number, so not against the spread straight up in these games, but against this particular number that we see tonight, 7.5. They've been in every single game really outside of game 3, and this is a desperation spot, right? I mean, if they cannot come up with a big win tonight, their season is over. So they have to come out. They have to give it everything they have. I like the Kings to keep this one close. I don't know if they win this game. I hope they win this game, and I hope the series extends. It's going to be a tough spot to go in and get the win tonight. Ultimately, though, I do think that they cover the spread. All right, let's move it along here to our other game of the night. We got the Grizzlies and Lakers. What a series this has been. Has really lived up to the hype to this point so far. Memphis came into this series. Despite having the higher seed, they were the underdogs to win this series. And we've seen why, right? LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and the Lakers, they have looked like the superior team in the series. They get a chance tonight. Can't ask for much more to close out the series on thetheir home floor. Who wins it?
I haven't put it in as a pick. I try to be quite disciplined with the picks I give here. 3-0 on Wednesday. Don't want to put like my degen picks to just totally bring that record down because I'm up late and there's a TV game and I'm worried that's going to be the case tonight. I really like Memphis. You alluded to on Wednesday that you didn't think the series was over. There were a lot of games we had to get through. We didn't spend much time on it. I totally agree with you. To me, this has to be a kitchen sink effort from the Lakers. Mm-hmm. If this thing goes back to Memphis, I don't think it's a hot take to say they could be in real big trouble here. You saw them. I don't want to I'm not picking on LeBron. He's amazing. But this every other day aspect, you could see some fatigue maybe starting to set in. If this thing goes through the weekend, On to Sunday, which I saw that's only the 1 day rest here. There's no like double up before the game 7. Big trouble. I think Memphis can keep this close, but if things get sloppy at the end of an elimination game, I'm worried we could get jobbed like Dylan Brooks did at the end of game 4 here, Matt. It's right on that number. We live and die by those free throws and maybe the immaturity of a younger Grizzlies, inexperienced Grizzlies team. Just, a game that's close the whole way. We just lose the cover. I could be even leaning the money line. I said a lot of words without a guy who's got a documented pick on the game. I'm sorry, but I'm really excited for it.
I'm with you. Listen, I think this could be a really close game. I'll have a piece up about this later. Ultimately, this is the spot the Lakers, in my opinion, have to win. If it goes back to Memphis in Game 7, they're in big trouble. A big reason for that, Memphis was one of the best home teams, in the NBA this season. Game 7, electric atmosphere. This is the spot where the Lakers have to close this series, in my opinion. I think they're well aware of that. LeBron James, he's been accustomed to these kind of games. He's played in a ton of them throughout his career. Anthony Davis was really the only guy who showed up in Game 5. He was great in Game 5. If he can have that kind of performance, and these other guys like, their role players step up, I think they win this game. Also, LeBron in Game 5, Jeff, just 15 points. So to think he won't come out with a little bit of urgency in this spot, I love LeBron James. That's going to be my prop bet for this one. I am taking his over in this game. I think he comes out, puts the team on his back, and I think the Lakers deliver a big-time performance. I don't know. This is a game where if the Grizzlies are able to steal this one on the road and it goes back to Memphis, all of a sudden all the momentum shifts back to Memphis, and I think they win the series. This is a spot where I feel the Lakers have to win. This is a Game 7 for them. Obviously, the same thing for Memphis. That's what's going to make this game great. A lot of sense of urgency on both sides of the basketball. This should be a fun one. Super fired up for this. But as far as a prop look tonight, guys, LeBron over coming off of a performance where he just scored 15 points. I like it. I think it's too good to pass up. I think he comes out extremely aggressive tonight, and I think he does turn in a big-time performance. So that's our thoughts on this game. Lakers, I do think they get it done. If they don't, I like the Grizz to win the series. Should be a fun one. This is probably going to be the best game so far of the postseason. I think both of these games will be outstanding tonight. So we shall see who wins this one. All right, let's shift gears, Jeff. We got a little MLB to get into. We have some money line plays. We have some no run bets. I'm going to go with a bet here between the Rockies and the Diamondbacks. So I'm going Rockies money line. Listen, this is a spot where a lot of people this year are probably not excited to back the Colorado Rockies, and I get it. This is not a team that's going to be playing postseason baseball this year. Pretty average when you look at them from an offensive standpoint. The big issue, without a doubt, has been their pitching, right? I mean, this is not a great staff, not a great bullpen. They've certainly struggled this year from a pitching standpoint. Funny enough, too, Jeff, they're just 3-7 at Coors Field. Even on some down years, typically the Rockies play pretty good baseball at home. But I do like them at plus money today. With all those bad things I just said about the Rockies, I think that they get the win in this spot today. They're coming off a decent series. They went into Cleveland. Cleveland's a pretty good team. They might be a playoff team this year. They won 2 of the 3 there. This just feels like they're a little undervalued. Merrill Kelly is a pretty solid arm, but on the flip side, Kyle Freeland, he's been extremely inconsistent. He's either been great or he's been god-awful. Hopefully we get the great version of him tonight. I do think Kyle Freeland is in a good spot to kind of bounce back, be able to do his thing. So I like the Rockies tonight. Plus money play there. I like them on the money line at plus 108. I also do like their first 5 on the spread, or if you want to take a shot there on the money line as well. But I think the Rockies get it done tonight, Jeff, and I do think that they win this home game. What is a bet you got tonight? I know you're looking at some MLB action as well.
Yeah, so I got something in the one of the earlier starts today. I think it's before 7 o'clock. I'm taking the Marlins. Had that at a pick'em. I would even take it to like minus 110, minus 115, which I think it could get up to today. Great little comeback win for them yesterday. Short plane ride home from Atlanta off that great comeback. They're taking on the Cubs. The Marlins are 10-5 versus everyone in baseball, not named, I think, the Braves and the Mets.
Yep.
So they're really like having an easy time with a lot of baseball outside of a couple of those teams in their division. Here come the Cubs. who are playing, feeling quite good about themselves. But I'm going to pick on Stroman today. I'm going to go with the Marlins. I'm going to lay what I believe now is minus 110 in this one. They need to stabilize the rotation. Luzardo, for me, to beat Stroman, minus 110.
Like that. Also, a look in that game, Jeff, real quick. This is an official play for me, but I love these bets. I don't know if you've ever done them. Hits, runs, and errors. So it's just the total hits, runs, and errors in the game. I like the under in that spot. Luzardo's been really solid this year. Marcus Stroman's been really good also for the Cubs. I think that will stay under. It's probably going to be at 25, 26. Got to sweat them a lot. I'll tell you that. They're always fun, but I do think that one would get home ultimately in that spot as well. I will add in before – you know what? No, you got an Orioles-Tigers pick, right? Let's go to that one first, and then we'll shift gears to mine. So you got Orioles-Tigers. I know you're looking at something in this game. What do you got?
Yeah, this is going to be my K-prop of the day. We had another winner with the K-prop, Logan Gilbert, over for the Mariners on Wednesday. We're going over 5.5. Grayson Rodriguez, we're going to lay minus 145. So we're eating a bit of pulp with our juice on this one. Minus 145, Grayson Rodriguez, over 5.5 Ks versus the Tigers. A lot of swing and miss there. I think we're going to I think that's, well, I don't want to speak too freely, but this was the one that popped for me today.
I like that. I like the pulp too. But you know what? It's worth it, Jeff. If it comes home, if the bet wins, who cares? So I like that play. I like that play a lot. All right, I'm going to go with what I wanted to add for you guys was a no-run first inning bet of the day. So we did hit on our previous show. We're off to a little 2-0 start on these this season. We're going to keep track of these, how these ones play out. I know you guys love them. They are the most electric 6 outs in baseball. So let's get to it. I'm looking at a play between the Cleveland Guardians and the Boston Red Sox. So we're going no-run first inning. All right. Red Sox, Guardians. That's going to be our play. Now, who do the Guardians have on the mound today? This is a guy I feel pretty good about. Cy Young winner Shane Bieber. That should be the easier part of the two, right? The one that might be a little sweaty is Nick Pivetta in the first inning versus the Guardians. Pivetta, former Philly. I've watched him for years. He's really inconsistent. When he's on, he's on. When he's off, he's off. We just have to pray to God that we get the strong, good version of Nick Pivetta. If we get it tonight, listen, I think we can cash this thing in. With Bieber on the other side, I feel really confident in him that he will be able to do his job. Boston offensively, they do have some solid bats at the top of that lineup, but Bieber's a guy who, as we've seen throughout his career, one of the best in baseball. So I think Bieber will certainly do his job. I think he'll be able to hold down this offense of Cleveland. And then on the flip side, we just got to hope Nick Pivetta has it tonight. That's all we got to hope. We just got to hope he's out there, he's doing his job, and he gets us. How hard can it be, Jeff? All we need is 3 outs out of him. We don't need much, and then we're good. Then we win the day, we win the bet, and life is good. It's a good way to start the weekend, too. It's Friday, early play. Let's cash it in. That kind of sets the mood for the weekend. So we're all in on that nerfy.
Early sweat. I no longer participate in no run in the first.
Got to try some no goal first 10-minute props too, right? In the NHL, we got to. Let's do it all this weekend. Let's just bet all the fun ones. That's what makes gambling so fun. All right, so there's our short baseball talk. Yes, we do have to pray that the right Nick Pivetta comes out, because if not, our nerfy could be in trouble. That is very true. There is another baseball bet. I apologize before we're going to move to some NHL that we have to do. It's time for the no home run parlay, Jeff. So yes, so we are 5-1 this year on these, but the reason that we lost the last one is the guy in your picture, Paul Goldschmidt. So we got the first 3 guys did not leave the yard. Shout out to those guys for doing their job. Cardinals were playing San Francisco. San Francisco. Late night game, Jeff, 10 o'clock. First at bat, Goldschmidt hits a homer. So the one thing I will say, shout out to Goldschmidt for not keeping us up till like 12 in the morning and then doing it in his last at bat. I will take that. At least he kind of ripped the Band-Aid off early. That's not that bad. The unfortunate thing was Goldschmidt ruined it. He actually hit 2 in the game. So he wasn't done. He wasn't done at 1. Tonight, though, we're fading Paul Goldschmidt. He's not going to hurt us again. If he does this again, We will never take him in a no home run parlay. He kind of owes us, so he's not leaving the yard. There's the other three on your screen, guys. Byron Buxton. Look, this one's going to be a little sweaty. He's facing Jordan Lyles today in the Kansas City Royals. Royals have a very, very average bullpen. That's probably too much of a compliment. They don't have the best arms coming in this game, but his line is just way too good to pass up to throw in a parlay. I really think the only sweats here will be Buxton and Goldschmidt. Santander on the other side. This is a guy that obviously has some pop in his swing, has not really hit the home run ball that well so far this season. And the last one, Christian Bethancourt, I think they're able to keep him in the yard today. So there's the four guys. It does get us out to minus 138. It was really hard today, guys, to find anything at plus money. I wanted to throw Judge in there because they have a tough matchup tonight. Forgot Judge was not playing. There's a lot of these big home run guys tonight. Their lines weren't that great. One of the best ones I found was Buxton. So that game starts soon-ish, I think 4:15 Eastern time. So that's one that you guys might have to sweat out a little bit. Byron Buxton, just want to point that out now. That is one that is definitely going to be a sweat. Paul Goldschmidt, though, while he might be a sweat, he owes us. He certainly owes us. So I think he stays in the yard tonight. There it is. There's four guys, Jeff. We just got to keep him in the yard. Can't be too difficult.
Yeah, and there is that one game that does start in the 4:00 hour today.
Yeah.
And just full disclosure, I was looking deeply into the Pablo Lopez over 4.5 Ks.
Okay.
In that one, but settled on Grayson Rodriguez. But deeper in there if you're looking for him. Hard lean to Pablo Lopez case.
If you need an early play, maybe we throw it in, right? I mean, that's
choose your own adventure.
Yes, exactly. It's a good way to do it. We will take comments real quick, guys, before we shift to the NHL. We have 4 games tonight, I believe, right? So big NHL night. What do you think about a Warriors-Lakers moneyline parlay? I don't know, Jeff. What do you think? Warriors.
I like the Warriors. I'm less convinced about the Lakers, but yeah,
tough one. Yeah. Let me know the odds on that. I think ultimately, I think it does get home. Listen, I actually think the Kings have the better chance to pull off the upset. The more I think about this game, the more I do like the Lakers to at least win it. Just feel like their sense of urgency in this game is going to be off the charts. LeBron, kind of after that poor showing, I do think that they bounce back and win this game tonight. All right, let's talk some NHL. What a great first round it's been so far. The great thing about the NHL playoffs, Jeff, I think what makes it superior to the other ones, it always seems like we're in a game 6 or a game 7, right? I mean, no matter the series, first round, second, it just doesn't matter. These series are always difficult. Boston was the best team in the NHL this year. They set all kinds of records. They're in a dogfight here with the Panthers in the first round. Again, that's what makes the NHL so great. Tough game tonight, though, for sure. Boston coming into this one, they got to go to the Sunshine State. They are a favorite, minus 166 on the money line via FanDuel. Obviously, the puck line, as always, 1.5. Do you have any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, so I'm taking I talked about taking Boston on Wednesday.
Yes.
But tonight, I'm actually going to take Boston.
Okay.
They were such a big favorite on Wednesday. It kind of felt prohibitive. But they're on the road tonight. I'm going to lay the puck and a half, plus 145 here. Elimination game. Things get sloppy with that empty net. I'd even consider making Boston on an alt line.
Yes.
One. I don't see this thing getting back. I don't see this thing getting back to Boston. Credit to Florida. They're not just they're not just happy to be here to be extending it. You could see they're really, really, into this thing, giving it their all. But tonight they meet their maker. Again, I'd lay the minus 1.5. I'm probably even going to lay minus 2.5 for even more payback.
Yep. I'm staying off of this game. I will cheer for you, obviously, on the Bruins. Florida's impressed me in this series, and I have not been all that impressed with Boston's play in this series. Tough spot right on the road. If Florida can pull this game off, as a hockey fan, I want 7. I always want 7 in any sport. It means more gambling, right? More games for us to bet on, better content, better TV. I think that this could go either way tonight. Florida, obviously, this is a team that coming into the year, pretty high expectations as well, really well-rounded team. And they've been pretty impressive in the series. I mean, all these games have been pretty competitive games. So I think this could go either way. I'm not in the business right now of wanting to fade the Bruins, and I also don't necessarily trust that they're worth laying the juice on. Obviously, if you go puck line, you can get some plus money tonight. But I think this will be a good one. This should definitely be a well entertaining game, and I think it's going to come down to it. I will cheer you on the Bruins, but I am staying off of this. All right, let's shift gears. We have 3 other games tonight that we want to get into. Islanders or Canes. This is another series that it felt like the Canes were going to run away with. And all of a sudden you look up, New York at home tonight. They are a favorite at home tonight. They win this. We go 7. Jeff, do you have any thoughts on this one?
Another nothing that I'm betting. Nothing that I'm betting on this one. Inspired effort from the Islanders. Like you said, I guess I'm cheering for 7, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what it would do? Is that what he said I'm supposed to do here? So yeah, go Isles. I don't have anything to speak of here. I feel like I have no edge on anything.
I like the Islanders tonight at home, money line. I think they win this game. I think it extends 7. This is the kind of series I think where the Islanders like to play. Like these games have been, it feels like a lot of them have kind of come down to the last minute, pretty close games outside of the one where I think they kind of got rolled a little bit. New York, though, this is a team. They're a defensive team. Now, interesting trends in this series. We talked about the Islanders coming into this series, Jeff. Such a good under team. I believe, I could be wrong here. Well, the last game was 5, some books 5.5. All right, so we'll say the total is 5.5 last game. That still means 3 of these 5 have gone over. So it's actually been a little different than we expected. Games 3 and 4 went way over, right? 6 goals and then 7 goals there. 7 goals in game 2, so a little bit different than what we expected. But listen, that game 5, Carolina had a chance to close them out on their home ice, and they were not able to do it. Kind of opens up the gate a little bit, gives them an opportunity. If they're able to win this game tonight, and you go back to Carolina will obviously still be the favorite to win in game 7, but game 7's anything can happen. I expect an electric atmosphere tonight in New York, and I do ultimately think that they win this game.
Would this be your no goal in the first 10 minutes game?
I was thinking it. I think, it's making me think the under might be due, right? The last game, full disclosure, I took the over, but I took it at 5, so it pushed. Like there has to be an under due at some point in this series. So maybe it's tonight. Maybe we see that slow pace, kind of the New York Islander hockey that we're more accustomed to. This is a team who always plays for the under, right? It seems 5.5.
Again, I feel like in elimination games with hockey, you're really playing with the devil.
Yes.
Because teams get real silly. That empty netter could come out way sooner than you would have thought. Even if, say, Carolina's up 3-1, that empty netter comes out with like 4 minutes left, maybe for
exactly. Yeah, you pull the goalie early. A lot can happen. A lot can happen in these games with the total. But I am surprised at kind of the trend of this series, how it's actually trended the other way, and it's been more overs in this series rather than against that number. All right, let's move it along. 2 more NHL games, guys. I will drop my top play of the day as well towards the end of the show. So hang on with us as we work through these couple games. Avs and Kraken. This has been a surprising series. Seattle came into the series as a pretty heavy underdog. Colorado, Jeff, was the favorite to win the Stanley Cup entering the year, obviously for good reason because they just won one. They got off to a bit of a sluggish start. They didn't really look like the Avs all year, I would say. But then they were able to kind of right the ship towards the end of the season. Came into this series. A lot of people thought this might be a 5 or 6 game series. All of a sudden, you look up, we are in the Rain City tonight, and Seattle has a chance to punch their ticket and knock out the defending champs. Who wins this one?
I think Colorado wins it. I'm not willing to bet on it. I do have a bit of a lean in the next game. It is remarkable what Seattle's going to come and do. Someone that sits here in Toronto as the Leafs will continue to, tread water and struggle for everything. And now just Seattle in their second year is going to uphang. There's many tentacles to something like that happening out West, even though I'm sitting here in Toronto. I'd like to see that one end. I don't have a bet on it. I'll be rooting for the Kraken. 7 would be fun. But no, I've only got one hockey bet tonight, and I said that was the Bruins minus the goal and a half plus 145.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting game. I mean, look, the fact that we're here right now and a chance for the Kraken to eliminate the Avs at home in Game 6, that in itself, I think, is a story. Great series so far. Colorado, really, they've been so top-heavy. Rantanen and McKinnon, outside of those guys, nobody's really provided offense. Rantanen with 5 goals in the series, McKinnon with 3. They're going to need some other guys to step up. Cal McCarr obviously was suspended for Game 5, so getting him back in the lineups, obviously a big deal. I mean, that's one of the best players in hockey. So do I think the Avs lose this game tonight? No. I don't know. It's pretty juicy there, up at minus 160 over on FanDuel, but that line actually would make me probably lean to the Avs. Like, they're such a heavy favorite here, despite being away. Also do want to point out, Colorado, the second best road record in the NHL, only behind the Boston Bruins, who turned in a historic season. So if it wasn't for that historic kind of season, maybe this would be the best road team in hockey. They have experience, obviously, playing in these kind of games. They did it all year last year on their way to a Stanley Cup, so they're used to winning on the road. Tough to eliminate the defending champs for sure. All right, one final game on the ice, then I'm going to give out a best bet. I just cooked up a parlay while we were on here, so I want to give you guys that as well. This will be an official show pick for me. The Wild and the Stars. I like Minnesota tonight. I do like them at home. I think that, again, we want more 7s. Give us more game 7s. Minnesota, listen, this is power on power. Minnesota was really good at home this year. Dallas was a really good road team. I love this series, and I've seen it pretty well so far. We are 3-0 betting on this series. So I think, when one's going one way and one's going the other, I've been able to kind of pick up on that. And there's some series that you just see better. This is one where I've seen it pretty good. I think the line's kind of indicative of this. It could go either way. It's a little bit of a coin flip game, but I think being at home, that sense of urgency that, hey guys, this is Game 6, we have to win this one if we want to continue our season. Ultimately, I do think that they get this done. Any thoughts on this game, Jeff?
I would lean to the under if Minnesota wins. I think it could be pretty low scoring. I don't like, though, that I'm seeing. Someone. I don't want to be. I'm not one of these. They know what's up or something. But to see like a minus 138 on the 5.5 total to the under, that doesn't feel very good. But I like Dallas to win the game. Yeah, I like Dallas to win this game. So I'd be against you on this one, but not a hard enough lean for me to be betting it.
Yeah, I definitely think that this is a game that comes down to the wire a little bit, but this has been quietly, I would say, a really good series. I have enjoyed watching this series so far. Two teams that I feel are a bit underrated. If they're, whichever one is able to advance, they're going to have a chance to go on a run. Two extremely talented teams. All right. While we were on the show, I was cooking up some of our favorite picks. I saw some comments, so I wanted to throw together a little parlay. It's Friday. We need some action. We need some big winners to kind of, get the weekend rolling a little bit. So I was able to do that while we were on the show. So I cooked up a 4-leg parlay, guys. It came out for me to plus 538. And I'm just going to throw these 4 picks. We will get a graphic up with it as well. So if you miss anything or can't hear it, don't worry. We will get this out to you. Here's the parlay. All right, so we're going to start an early game. I needed some kind of early action, Jeff, when we started talking about the Pablo Lopez play. And I figured, why don't we just throw the Twins in a lay? I think they get the win. Their money line's juiced. We can't take that straight. Even their run line's a little juiced. Pablo Lopez, he's been really good this season. This Twins lineup, they should see Jordan Lyles well, because the guy who typically struggles to throw the baseball. So I think that's leg 1. We're going Twins money line, so it's going to start us. Then we're going to go with the Lakers. The more I've contemplated this game, I think this is their spot. They're back at home. They have a chance to close them out. LeBron revenge game after kind of a lackluster performance. I think he has a strong performance. I think the Lakers have a strong performance. I think they win the game. Then we're going to go to the ice for the final 2. The Avs, we were just talking about them. The defending champs, Jeff, I don't think they go out in round 1. I think they're able to extend this series, get it back to Colorado, Cal McCarr back in the lineup. I like the Avs to pull that one off. And then the final leg of this winner, and this is going to be a sweat, but we're going to do it. We're going to go with the Minnesota Wild. This is one I know you just said we were disagreeing on, but I think they do get it done today. I think they get the win, and they extend the series to 7. So I'm taking desperate teams right now, and then the Twins. Yep. That's kind of the way we're building up this parlay. We're betting on teams to extend series. I know the Lakers, it's not technically a game 7 for them in their minds, but I do think if they lose this game tonight, that momentum flips immensely back to Memphis. I mean, they just won 2 games, and now they're back at home for a game 7. This is a spot where I think the Lakers need to close this out tonight. If they cannot close this out tonight, I do think they're in trouble. And ultimately, I think the Grizzlies win the series. So that's going to be the parlay. I feel pretty good about this one, Jeff. Think that we get this home. Someone did ask about the max play for today as well. Just in case you missed that, it will be on the Lakers. I'll also have an article out on that. Jeff, anything to add before we close shop and kick the weekend off?
Nope. Just excited for more NFL draft. I guess a question for you: do you ever bet series bets in baseball?
I do. Yeah. Not often, but I do. Do you see something that's sticking out to you? You like?
Just like sometimes the responsible degen in me keeps coming out, and as a Blue Jays fan, how crippling their season ended versus the Mariners last year. Now the Mariners are coming to town struggling. The Jays are reeling. Like in football, we make such a big deal about revenge games, and like in my head, I built up this has to be a revenge series, the Blue Jays, but it's minus 160. And tonight's game's a pick'em with Manoah versus Castillo. So I feel like
it is weird. It is weird. And I'll say this.
How do you see it? Like, how do they price that?
Yeah, it's odd. It's odd for sure. I will say also, my Phillies just played the Mariners. Their bats are ice cold right now in Seattle. They have not impressed me. But you know what I think it is? I think it's today Luis Castillo's on the mound, and he has been – I mean, if the season ended right now, he's a Cy Young winner, right? So – I think it's that they're taking that into factor that, like, if the Mariners do win this game today, but, I mean, if the Blue Jays are still favored. I mean, Manoah himself, all-star arm.
Yeah, so. Manoah's been kind of he struggles to start the games. I don't want to lay that kind of juice. It almost feels like you may as well just bet tonight's game at the pick'em, and that probability winner of tonight's game is the probable series winner.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. So you get a better price, right? So why don't we just go Blue Jays tonight? Revenge game on the mound. Manoah's a guy who, like you said, he hasn't been great, but he'll figure it out. He'll right the ship. It's tough to fade Luis Castillo. I think that's what it is.
I honestly think I've just talked myself into a circle of a no bet at all here on this, which is the responsible thing to do.
Sometimes no bet is the best bet. I will say that. That's for sure. All right, guys. Well, we appreciate everyone. I know it's Friday. Everyone's busy. Got the weekend coming up. We appreciate everyone for taking about a half hour out of your day to hop on with Jeff and I. We will be back on Monday, but we will be doing Twitter Spaces on Monday. So we will not be in this format on Monday. Wednesday and Friday, however, we will be back on this format. I know you guys love the videos, so we're excited to bring you a couple of those a week. Hope everyone has a great day. Jeff, let's get some more winners coming off a great show on Wednesday. And I'll see you on Monday.
All the best. Have a great weekend.